Ralph and Sylvia were two friends who lived in a magical forest. They loved to explore the forest and help the animals. One day, Ralph and Sylvia were walking through the forest when they heard a voice calling to Ralph. "Ralph, come to me, my child," the voice said. Ralph stopped and closed his eyes, listening intently. "Did you hear that?" he asked Sylvia. "There's a voice calling me." Sylvia shook her head in confusion. Ralph used his magic to look in the direction of the voice. He saw a deep cave in the distance. "Do you think I should go there?" he asked Sylvia. "I don't know," Sylvia said. "But you seem to want to." Ralph nodded. He felt drawn to the cave by a mysterious force. He had to see what it was. Ralph and Sylvia flew towards the cave. They flew for a while, and finally, they reached the cave. "This is it," Ralph said. Ralph and Sylvia entered the cave, which was dark. Ralph was a little scared and hesitant, but he decided to bravely go inside anyway, because he felt a sense of familiarity with the cave. "Let's go in," Ralph said. Ralph walked into the cave and found it to be very dark. He could only hear strange noises. After a while, Ralph came to a small room with a light. He went inside and saw a small elf standing there, smiling at him. "Hello," Ralph said. "Hello," the elf said. "Welcome, Ralph." "Who are you? Do you know me?" Ralph asked. "I am Amastacia, which means flower of the stars," the elf said with a smile. "I am the guardian of the magic crystals." "Amastacia," Ralph said. "That's a beautiful name." "I have been waiting for you," Amastacia said. "The magic crystal has summoned you here to learn the full extent of magic." Ralph was amazed. He didn't know why the magic crystal had summoned him. "Why has the magic crystal summoned me?" Ralph asked. "The magic crystal will explain it to you," Amastacia said. "But I know that the magic crystal wants you to use your magic to bring good and happiness to the world." Ralph's heart was filled with excitement. He knew that he had a great responsibility, and he would work hard to learn magic and bring good to the world. Amastacia led Ralph and Sylvia to the depths of the cave, where a faint glow emanated from a crystal that was shaped like a giant egg. Ralph reached out and touched the magic crystal, and he felt a warm embrace surround him. The warmth was like the gentle sunshine on a winter day, or the embrace of a mother. It filled Ralph with a sense of peace and comfort. Ralph closed his eyes and basked in the white light. After a few moments, Ralph opened his eyes and found himself in the vast universe. He seemed to see the origins of the universe and the birth of the magic crystal. In a distant, ancient time, the universe radiated a loving light to all things. One day, this loving light condensed into crystals, which were scattered throughout the worlds, giving all things power. Ralph finally understood the origins of magic. Magic is a powerful force that can be used to help others and protect the world. Ralph and Sylvia stayed in the cave for a while, learning more about magic. They became good friends with Amastacia. One day, Ralph and Sylvia were learning a new spell in the cave when they heard Amastacia's cry for help. They ran out and saw 3 goblins attacking Amastacia. Amastacia was barely holding off the goblins' attacks. "Help me!" Amastacia shouted. Ralph and Sylvia sprang into action, and together they defeated the goblins. The goblins lay on the ground, shaking in fear. Ralph walked over to them and asked, "Why did you attack us?" One of the goblins sat up and said, "We want to learn magic. We know that the magic crystal can make us powerful, so we wanted to steal it." Ralph smiled and said, "You don't need to steal the magic crystal. Magic is for everyone. We would be happy to teach you." The goblins were ashamed and remorseful. They knew they had done wrong. When Ralph saw the goblins hanging their heads in shame, he said, "Don't worry, you won't be punished. But you have to promise me that you'll help us protect the cave and the magic crystal." Ralph and Sylvia convinced the goblins that magic should be used to help others, not to hurt them. The goblins listened intently and nodded their heads in agreement. They vowed to change their ways and become guardians of the magic crystal. Ralph, Sylvia, and Amastacia set off on an adventure together. They would use magic to bring goodness and happiness to the world.